Gearfacts friends, welcome back. Today we're looking at the very first Ashton keyboard that I have ever reviewed. It's the AK-250. I know my fingertip was right off your screen there, but take my word for it, that is the model number. At first glance, the features are nothing remarkable, and at second glance, there's still nothing remarkable. We've got 100 rhythms, 147 sounds that just go a little bit beyond general MIDI, and it does have round MIDI in and out sockets at the back as well. A straightforward Casio style display with the notation and other general numeric stats on it. You'll notice that everything is controlled by buttons. There's no dials, even the volume is an up and down button. It does have a row of buttons here for saving user settings, plus a one-touch setting, which will call up all your global settings in one go. An instant piano button, completely ripped off from Yamaha's PSR series. Numeric keypad for selecting things here. The ability to record one song, and also a couple of other functions here, including sustain and DSP. On that note, it was the DSP that drew me to this keyboard initially, when I was deciding whether or not to fork out some dollars to review it for you here on Gearfacts. DSP usually indicates that there are a set of effects that you can apply to your sound. In this particular case, DSP is just one thing. It's on or off. I'll see if you can hear the difference. This is off. Virtually no difference, as you can hear. And it's not just because of my camera's mono microphone. I really can hear no stereo difference, no equalization difference, no compression difference, nothing like that. All it seems to do is louden it a little bit and introduce a little bit of unwanted noise. So I say leave the DSP off. Big disappointment there, Ashton. There is one other little saving grace though, something this keyboard can do that most keyboards in this class can't, and that is a Portamento effect. You get that by pressing function here until you see port, short for Portamento, and directing your eyes over to the left, you'll see that above the pitch bend wheel there is a modulation / Portamento button. Portamento will only work when you're pressing that button. So after the initial disappointments of this keyboard, that is a pretty cool function. Of course, by pressing function again, we are switched back to modulation mode. So I hold down this button, and there's our familiar modulated vibrato. Not an ideal system. Obviously, we'd all prefer an actual modulation wheel, but it's good to know it's got it. As for the pitch bend wheel, have a close listen to this. Listen to how grainy and chunky that is. It's like you can hear every microtonal increment there. So that's pretty unacceptable. And really not up to any more than just the most basic standard. Okay, so we've heard the basic piano sound. Let's have a listen to some other voices. Horrible strings. Believe it or not, that's the saxophone sound. Let's try Portamento with that one. A little bit better. The old general MIDI fifths. A reasonable pad. Atmosphere, also from the general MIDI set. Some passable strings. And some drum sets. Pretty gritty sounding drum kit, not really of its time. So after hearing all that, let's switch over to styles and just trying one at random. Let's raise that tempo. This is one pretty good feature. There is a mixer section up here where you can take out individual parts of the accompaniment. As you heard just then, the keyboard part of that accompaniment sounded terrible. The bass is not too bad. The drums are kind of usable. So let's turn the volume up again. Well, what can you really say? I mean, it's a low-cost keyboard with low-cost sounding rhythms that are just basically good as metronome pieces, really, just to help you practice. In a fit of open-mindedness, though, I am going to try one more. Okay, so I guess all that's left now is for me to show you what's around the back. And this is it. You can see here that we can put in a sustain pedal, which is handy. Auxiliary out. I guess the idea there is that you can record to a computer or plug into a PA system or something like that, and yet still hear your speakers coming out, because obviously if you plug into headphones, you're not going to hear anything out of the speakers. So I guess that adds a little bit of flexibility. Interesting to note, obviously the DIN MIDI sockets there, which I always appreciate, and also a walled over MIDI through socket there. I don't know if that means it's upgradable or if it's just a chassis used from a higher model, but for a keyboard at this level it seems very superfluous to even think about having a MIDI through. But anyway, there it is. So the AK-250 from Ashton has been a bit of a disappointment to me. One or two surprises along the way, but really, it's nothing special. And it's a shame because I really like Ashton guitars. They're designed in Australia and they're put together in China to a good quality control specification. And I was really hoping to get something similar with the keyboard, but no, not really. There's nothing here that impresses or inspires. So I guess all that's left, guys, is to play you out with the demo, and here it comes.